everybody, welcome to another video. Today I'm going to be opening up this guy right here. This is a Neotone digital handpan. Let's go ahead and open it up and see what's inside. All right, so shout out to Neotone for sending this guy out to me. I've been seeing a couple of the videos that they have been putting out, and I have been really excited to get my hands on one of these. From what I understand, the same guys behind Mag Handpans are behind this project. So shout out to that crew. They're making some awesome instruments, and I'm really excited to see what the Neotone has in store for us. There have been a couple other attempts at a digital handpan, and none of them have really ended up too successful. We had the oval that kind of fell apart, the lumen, which is kind of been struggling from what I understand, and a few others that never really caught wind. And the Neotone seems to be really the first one to do it right. I'm really excited based on what I've seen, and I'm gonna be making just a ton of content with this guy. Okay, awesome. I like the packaging. Nice, very secure. Okay, so first things first, it looks like we've got a case, which I am pretty stoked on. That's cool. Okay, let's see if we can get this guy out. Whoa, okay, it's heavier than I thought it was. Okay, so first things first, this looks like a shoulder style bag, not like a backpack style case, which is kind of a bummer. You know, I really like the backpack style. I think those are the easiest to carry around, but this looks really high quality. It looks nice. Let's see, we got a pocket here. I want to see what's in the pocket before we open it up. Oh yeah, this is the charging cable, and it's funny, they sent me the European charging version, so I think I'm gonna have to swap that out. But it just, as far as I understand, charges with USB-C, so I think any standard phone charger is gonna be able to make it work. I'm just gonna leave that out for now. Cool. All right, let's open it up, see what's inside. Ooh boy, let's see what we got. Oh my goodness. Awesome, wow, this thing looks so cool. Oh my goodness. Wow. Oh, the wood. Whoa, oh my God. Dang. Okay, let's flip it over. What? Okay. Wow, all right. This thing is beautifully built, oh my goodness. The wood is not only just gorgeous, but I have no idea how they shape it the way they do. It's kind of like built from like multiple staves, it looks like, but they're curved. They're bending the wood in this really beautiful shape. So it really looks just like a normal handpan. It's shaped so beautifully. The back panel here, it looks like this is like some sort of like aluminum cover or something. Really nice metal body finish to it. Nice, we got our knobs, feel really good. Wow, really high quality. Nothing in this is plastic. These are all metal knobs. They just feel really great, wow. Awesome, we got our phone input, the line out, MIDI in and out, that is huge. So that means you can run this into other devices, or, you know, I mean, just don't even get me started. Control, I'm assuming that's for like expression pedals, maybe a volume and sustain pedal. And then we've got our power switch. I'm not gonna power it on, I'm not sure if it's charged. We might have to take a break to charge it. And then our USB connection as well. Just a couple LEDs there. Let's flip it over. Whoa, oh my gosh, what? Wow, okay, so the material, the tone field material, I would describe as like, it sort of feels like an electronic drum set material, but not quite the same. It's not really rubbery. It has almost like a fabric-like texture to it. And the tone fields as well, they're shaped really nicely. I really love the dimple shape that they've put on these. They're nice and deep. They feel exactly like I would expect, like I would want in a handpan tone field. And then also there's these inlays here. I'm not sure if you can see that on the camera. Almost kind of like it looks like a quartz almost, or some sort of mica. This like a kind of cool gemstone almost inlay, indicating the different notes. So there's 2 dots. They look like fret markers on a guitar. Really, that's what they look like. So these 2 frets, if you will, up here, I'm assuming that's marking note number 8, our highest note. And then these ones off to the side, I'm not sure what those are for yet. Maybe that has something to do with the control. You know, one thing that is worth mentioning that you'll notice on this is that all of the notes are the same shape and size. So I'm wondering if that's gonna throw me off when I start to play this thing. On a traditional acoustic handpan, obviously your larger notes, your lower notes, are gonna be a little bit bigger. So typically this would be our smallest note and these would be our biggest notes, but that's not the case with the Neotone. They're all spaced evenly. I understand why that is. It would make things a little bit complicated if they tried to change the different size of the notes. But it does feel a little funky when you're used to the traditional note sizing. I'm curious how this thing is sealed. To me, I could be wrong, but it almost looks like some sort of Velcro seal. That is very strange. I wonder if you're able to open it up. Obviously, I'm not gonna try right here, but I wonder if they do that so you can separate the 2 shells and get inside. Why you would need to do that, I'm unsure. Maybe that's just something on this one because I think this is like a prototype one or like a beta tester model. It's not on, but I just want to see how it feels. What? It's got a little tone to it. It's got like a little like a plunkiness. Nice, wow. Okay, yeah, so that's that feels how I expected it to. So I'm really curious when we power this thing on, we get the sounds going through it, how I'm gonna feel about it. But when I'm just sitting here playing it with no sound, it just feels like a piece of wood kind of that I'm playing on. Yeah, it's hard to describe if you have not played handpan before. But when you play handpan, even though it's a piece of metal, every handpan has a little bit of a different responsiveness to it. So some handpans can be like really bouncy. They can really kind of give you back a lot of the strike you put into it. And that's because handpans are membranes, right? So when we're putting force into a note, it is vibrating, it's moving up and down. And you can feel that in your hands. This is not a membrane. This is just a MIDI controller. So we don't have that same responsiveness that you do on a handpan. So it feels weird. It feels to the hands, it feels unusual. I'm sure I will get used to it. It's nice that they put the dimple in there. I will sing their praises to that, because I do know on the Lumen and some of the other MIDI handpan controllers out there, they do not have that dimple. And for me as a player, I really rely on that in my playing. I'm curious if they've crafted any of the responsiveness of the samples with that dimple, because on a normal handpan, depending on where you're striking on the note, obviously you're gonna get a different sound. So I'm really excited to kind of fire this up and see how I feel about it. All right, well let's go ahead and see if we can power this thing on, and then I'll connect some headphones. And we can see kind of what sort of sound we get. One thing I will say about the Neotone that's a little bit of a bummer is that it does not have an inbuilt speaker. So if you want to play, you either got to connect to like a Bluetooth speaker, or like a plug into like a PA system, or use a pair of headphones. So one thing I just realized on this is actually a 9-note handpan. I am much more used to the 8-note layout. I just happen to play 8-note layouts a lot more than 9-note layouts. But I think it's really cool that they did bother to put 9 notes on this thing. I remember back in the days of the Oval, the great failure that the Oval was. One of the big faults of that early digital handpan was that they only put 7 tone fields on it. And I think everyone was thinking, you know, what are you guys thinking? Why would you do that? With 9 notes, you're gonna be able to get a bunch more scales, 9-note layouts, but you're also gonna be able to play 8-note layouts, right? I'm assuming we can just kind of ignore 1 note and have a typical 8-note layout on this. I think they only offered in the 9-note version, but yeah, cool to see they put that extra note on there. So just the form factor of this, it feels both in weight and size very similar to a Rav Vast. So I have a couple of Ravs here on my shelves, and they are pretty much the same diameter. I would guess that they're similar in weight as well. So in my lap, this feels very much like I'm playing a Rav. I think that is a really smart move by Neotone to go with the slightly smaller diameter for 2 big reasons. 1, it's gonna be a lot easier to travel with, and 2, it's gonna be a lot more accessible for people who don't have quite as long of arms as I do, or maybe are quite as slender as I am. All right, let's see what we got here. Oh my God. No way, come on. What? Oh, oh. I'm not even plugged into the computer. All right, we're gonna take a break. We're gonna plug into the computer. All right, I'm back after a quick break. I had to dig up the proper cables to get this thing connected to my computer so we can hear it at the same time, but we should be good to go now. I'm gonna go ahead and plug my headphones back in. Oh yeah, yep, we're cooking, okay. Oh my God. Huh. Okay, so they've got the harmonics in there. But no bend. Come on, guys, give me a bend. So let's just take it for a spin, improv a little bit, and then we're gonna go through and see what sounds we have and what sounds we don't. Oh my God. No way. What? Oh my God. Wow. So I just intuitively, I wanted to mute out those notes. So I just kind of ran my hands over them like you would on a normal handpan. And I think it actually kind of muted them. So, what? No. Oh my God. What? No. How is that? Oh my God. All right. So you can mute notes. Okay. Yeah, that sounds pretty natural. That sounds like how it would on a acoustic handpan. Whoa, oh my God, this thing is so sensitive. What? Okay. Yeah, there's this weird disconnect between what I'm hearing and what my hands are used to. And they've done a pretty damn good job of replicating what it should be, but not quite. I mean, it is very, very, very good, but my hands are very familiar with what a handpan should sound like. So you can tell when my hand does something that's slightly different than what the performer who recorded the sample did. It kind of trips my brain, trips me up a little bit because I'm expecting something a little bit different. With that said, this is by and far the most sensitive digital handpan we have seen in existence yet, by and far. I think some of the complaints I have, they're very picky. You know, when you've played acoustic handpan, gosh, it's crazy that that's even a term, acoustic handpan. When you've played handpan for as long as I have, you become very used to the sounds, what's supposed to sound like what. So any little deviation from that is going to kind of throw you off. But man, they have done a really good job of getting really close to the organic feeling of playing handpan. Dude, what? How did I do that? I can do a one-hand hand harmonic on this. What is going on right now? They programmed one-hand harmonics into this. There's no way. Come on. Bro, what? Oh my God. All right, let's go through and let's see what sounds they have and what sounds they don't. I'm about to be really picky, so let's really put it through the ringer here. Okay, so they have all the legato strokes, and with that said, they sound very nice. I can tell that they did many velocities on many levels when they were recording the sample library. Let's just kind of go up and down on one note and see what our ear can pick out. Okay, it's pretty sensitive. It didn't get my first strike, which was like teeny tiny, but it got my second one. Let's try again. Yeah, okay, nice. Nice, wow. Let's try it a little bit more. Cool. Yeah, okay. So a really wide variety in there of the takes that they did. So it's pretty rare that you're going to hear two identical samples played in a row. That's a mark of a really good library. When you that's the difference between like a 90s Casio piano and some of the modern sample libraries, is that there's so much more information in these modern libraries. If you're playing the same sound again and again, it's just going to sound like a computer, and this doesn't. This sounds very natural. Also, another thing in here that I like a lot is they put this kind of governor almost on the note, and what I mean by that is that it will not let you play too loud, meaning on a real handpan, if I'm just wailing on the note, if I'm just laying into it, it's gonna sound like wow, wow. You know, it's gonna be distorting like crazy. And they put in a threshold in here, so you're never gonna get that kind of ugly, blary sound. Okay, let's go through the muted sounds. The note muting, let's go back to that. So cool. Oh my God. So what they're doing there is when I strike and then retouch on the pads, not only is it cutting off the sound of the initial sample, but it's also playing the sound of my hands going back down on the instrument. Amazing, amazing, amazing job, guys. Good Lord. Yeah, oh my God. Yeah, okay, like, so even that little 5-stroke roll I did down there, that sounds normal. That sounds like how it should. What? Oh my God. So you can hear how I can do the release as either muted or open. And also 0 latency, from what I can tell. Yeah, I mean, pretty immediate, you know. Yeah, I can do pretty fast rolls. And it's gonna pick up. It's gonna pick up right when I play. It feels very organic. Cool. Yeah, I'm still getting used to the smaller form factor. It's just smaller in diameter than a regular handpan. You know, that'll just take some getting used to. So the talk is there, obviously. Interesting, okay. Yeah, so all of the slap sounds, the interstitial sounds are there. But here's one of the things that's a little bit of a bummer. I don't know that there is any way to change this on a digital handpan, but the problem with digital instruments is that they don't know how I am striking the instrument. So if we want to get like that thump sound, like that fist stroke, right? It just thinks I'm playing with my finger, right? On an actual handpan, that would sound bassy. That would sound like a big thump sound. Also, if I'm going to strike with my knuckle as opposed to my first joint, you know, those are going to be two different sounds on an acoustic handpan. But obviously the Neotone has no way of knowing how I'm striking with my hand. But it does a pretty damn good job of approximating. Interesting, huh? Yeah, that's a little bit of a bummer. I would love to have the Helmholtz sound in there, but like I said before, the Neotone doesn't really have any way of knowing what part of my hand I'm striking with. So instead, we're just getting kind of like this really sharp, like muted sound. It sounds like maybe he was using his fingertips when he recorded this. Yeah. Yeah, I just wish there was a way to do that. I wish there was a way you could swap that out in a setting. So rather than having that muted sound, if when you play the ding with a muted stroke, it gives you the Helmholtz as opposed to that. Yeah, I don't know. Ah, interesting. Ha, okay, interesting. I think I just figured out what's going on. Yeah, okay. So here's a little thing. The harmonics, it seems that the Neotone wants me to mute on the flat area of the tone field. It wants me to mute on the flat area and then strike on the other flat area. And that's gonna give us our harmonic sound. When I do a harmonic on an actual handpan, my muting finger is gonna be almost inside of that dimple. It's gonna be right on the ridge of the dimple. So when I am striking the harmonic with the technique that I normally use, it's not always picking it up. If I move that finger out a little bit more onto the flat area, it's gonna pick it up. Again, just something I would have to get used to on this. Not everybody plays handpan the same way, and the way I isolate my harmonics is probably different than the way they do, so they probably programmed it a little bit differently than how I would have. Nice. It's cool that they got the different velocities in the harmonics as well. Yeah, they even did the harmonic mutes. That's so awesome. Oh, come on. So I have to say one of the coolest things in this is the fact that the wood is touch sensitive. That is just so mind-blowing to me. And not only is it touch sensitive, it's very touch sensitive. Wow, it actually changes as we move around the handpan, I think. Let me check again. Oh my God. All right, so like I was saying, the sensitivity of the wood is just amazing. It's mind-blowing that you can do that. But furthermore, I want you guys to check this out. This will show you the attention to detail that Neotone put into this instrument. So if I am striking the interstitial, the wood area, listen to this. Okay, we're getting that interstitial click sound, but what do you hear in there? What do you hear? We're actually getting a little bit of the harmonic from that note. That is how it would be on an acoustic handpan. Holy shit. These guys did it right. Oh my God, they did it right. And here's the thing, watch this. So we're getting that harmonic from that high note. We're gonna move over here to the left. Now we're getting the harmonic from that note. Unbelievable, unbelievable. You know, for a couple of years, Tad, the guy who I'm gonna go see in a couple days, and we're gonna kind of dissect this thing, me and him had actually been talking about doing a project like this. We ultimately decided that neither of us really had the time for it. We've got so many other things going on. And I'll say, I think Neotone has built basically what the two of us were envisioning. I don't think anybody could have done it better than this. And really, I can't wait to see where they take it from here, because this is like version 1 as far as I understand, and they have set the bar really high for their first unit. I can only imagine where this technology is going to be in 5 and 10 years from now, because my God, this thing is amazing. So I have to offer some really big praise to the MAG team. From what I understand, these initial sampled handpans are all MAG instruments, and my God, are these some beautiful handpans. I have been such a big fan of their instruments for a long time. And when you have a Neotone, not only do you have multiple scales, but you have multiple just top shelf handpans within this thing. So I have just so many thoughts on this thing. This video could be like 5 hours long. I'm gonna cut it short. I've only even explored one scale on this thing today. But like I said, I am gonna head over to the studio that I record all my albums at, Tenderden Arts, and meet up with my good friend, Tad Wheeler. We are gonna be doing a super deep dive into the Neotone. So we're gonna cap this video for now, but trust me, there is gonna be a lot more down at Tenderden. So all I can say is this thing is damn cool, and I definitely want one of my own. So if you wanna know more about the Neotone, head to, I believe it's digitalhandpan.com. I will make sure to put a link to their website in the description of the video as well. So big shout out to the Neotone guys for sending this thing out. It is just really amazing, and I cannot wait to explore more on this wonderful thing. So I'll see you guys all in the next video. Take care.